Live from Utah's first TV station, ABC4 News celebrates 75 years.
Good evening, I'm Glenn Mills.
And I'm Emily Flores. We thank you for joining us here this evening. We do begin with our state's first major wildfire of the season of this year. There are photos from the Red Bridge Fire, which is burning on tribal land in Uintah County.
When local crews discovered the fire yesterday, it had already burned through 10 acres. Since then, it's grown to more than 400 acres and is now threatening homes and infrastructure. ABC4 meteorologist Nate Larson live on scene. Nate, what are you seeing out there now just a day after that fire began?
You know, Glenn and Emily, so we've been in contact, of course, with the local officials that are here on site. It is tribal lands. It's the Uintah and Oral reservation area. And so they do have, I guess, some limitations on what we've had access to. Here on site, though, we've had the fire. You can see some of the flames have been fanned with some of the gusty winds that have moved in. Now, this is one of the main concerns leading up to this afternoon was the threat of storms moving in. And so they've been working actively to fight the flames. Local volunteer fire agencies from Uintah County helped respond yesterday afternoon when the brush fire was first reported, and the fire burned until about 3:30, I'm told, Monday morning before flames were considered to be out, although the heat still remained. And then as soon as the sun came out this morning and a little bit of a wind kicked up, the flames began to rise again. So federal resources have been put on the ground. Firefighters are also working up in the air. The Utah National Guard is assisting with 2 Black Hawk helicopters that are using water buckets as well.
Some assistance from the state of Utah. The Utah National Guard sent us 2 Black Hawk helicopters. They are currently active, doing bucket work, dropping water on hotspots in coordination with the hand crews that we have formed with fire personnel out on the fire line.
Now, again, these winds are fanning some of the flames. We'll be keeping an update with officials to see how it's impacted the fire. We're told that no containment was made earlier today before the winds picked up, but they are going to continue to work on this. At 460 acres was the last check as far as how many acres have been burned. Of course, the cause, it has been ruled out that it wasn't caused by nature, by lightning. There were no thunderstorms in the area. It has been human caused. They're investigating who might have done that. Otherwise, again, the flames continue to burn here in Uintah County. Live for ABC4, I'm meteorologist Nate Larson. Back to you.
All right, thanks so much, Nate. Appreciate it. In a weather alert tonight, Utah seeing some wet weather along with those winds this evening. This is a live look outside of our station. Some pretty ominous looking skies, the flag blowing in the wind there. And we even had some hail coming down with some pretty strong rain outside of the station not too long ago either.
Yes, hearing this storm roll through. Let's head over for the check of the latest conditions with Chief Meteorologist Alana Brophy.
Thunder and lightning out there tonight, guys. We had it roll over the ABC4 studios. Let's start with this video from Harriman because you talk about that hail, and yeah, there's plenty of it. Pea-sized hail, bigger than that in some locations, just showing the intensity of the thunderstorms that have moved in along the Wasatch Front. Now, we're definitely going to be holding on to that hail and these storms for the next several hours. A heads up there. Now, as we take a check here on the SPC conditions, it shows exactly where we're dealing with that thunderstorm threat. It's a general threat for all of northern Utah and the eastern side of the state. That is going to change as we head into tomorrow. Let's track these storms. Look at where we're putting down some lightning because we do have some areas and bands of storms coming over the lake. Here we go along the Wasatch Front, and we can see over towards Duchesne and Vernal. We just saw in that live shot, we could hear the wind blowing, and it's because this is tracking towards eastern Utah and portions of it there along the Wasatch Front and the Wasatch Plateau. As we get closer, you can see there was lightning over towards the Wasatch back. The lightning counter in the corner of your screen shows you exactly that. You can watch as that wet weather all the way up to Bear Lake turns into mixed precipitation with the pink that you're seeing on the screen. So it's not just rain, colder air moving in. Now, when we talk about the lake, we've got this band right here. If that holds together, that will impact portions of the Wasatch Front as we make it through this evening. So we are not done just yet. Gusty conditions, and I want to just show you what it looked like as these storms rolled over Suncrest and Draper. Rain sheets, moderate to heavy rain with hail, lightning, and thunder. The seasons have changed. You can see it out there in northern Utah. What to expect tonight and tomorrow in my full forecast. Glenn, Emily, over to you.
All right, thank you, Alana. Well, in Draper now, we have an update on the 2 houses that collapsed and then slid down a mountain early Saturday morning. An old letter from the builder saying the homes were safe when they were evacuated in late of 2022. ABC4's Annika Johns joining us live in Draper with more on what this letter says and what the company is saying now. Annika.
Yeah, that's correct. When the two homes were originally condemned in October, the developer of the homes, Edge Homes, released a statement saying they disagree with Draper's decision to have the homes evacuated. Now we're hearing from them, and they're telling us what they think went wrong. 2 days after the initial collapse of 2 Draper homes, an old statement from the homes builder resurfaced detailing their dislike of Draper City's decision to evacuate the homes in October of 2022. But now they've come out with a new statement saying the city made the right decision.
Both homes had been evacuated several months ago, fortunately, so there was no one in the homes.
In their first statement, Edge Homes says that when they became aware of the shifting and settlement problems, they worked with the city and homeowners to stop the shifting. After fixes were installed, additional testing was done on the foundation, and Edge Homes said that the homes had stabilized. The city, however, went forward and asked the residents to evacuate. Edge Homes responded to this by saying they were disappointed by and respectfully disagree with Draper City's decision to revoke the certificates of occupancy for these homes.
We want to make sure we were, extra cautious, and certainly now that was the right decision.
Edge Homes released a new statement earlier today regarding the slides where they said, as we continue to monitor the situation and collect additional data, however, it became evident in December 2022 that the homes were continuing to move and that evacuation of the homeowners was the correct decision. Edge Homes continued saying that they are going to be looking more into what happened and they're committed to finding out what caused the problem to make sure it doesn't happen again. The Suncrest neighborhood is also inviting their community and surrounding communities to join them at the Edge Homes corporate building tonight at 6 for a community meeting. Reporting live in Draper, Annika Johns, ABC4 News.
Annika, thank you. We have an update now to a story we first brought you earlier this month. Ogden City mayoral candidates now speaking out in favor of a wildlife rehabilitation center in the city that is being kicked out of the nest. ABC4 Northern Utah correspondent Cade Gardner with those details.
A letter from the Ogden City Attorney gives the Wildlife Rehabilitation Center of Northern Utah, which calls this city-owned building home, until September 6th to get out. Now, the center tells me the city may be willing to give them a 180-day extension, but mayoral candidates say this is a decision that needs to be pushed back until there's a new mayor in office. Under an educational services agreement, the center has been able to use the facility for more than a decade. The city wants to expand the dinosaur park next door into the area. The rehab center's director tells ABC4 that expansion will demolish the building and replace it with a parking lot. The center is asking for at least a year and a half in order to secure funding to move into a temporary facility, or 5 years to raise enough money to build a permanent home. Ogden City's mayor is not running for re-election, and current candidates are upset with the city's move to kick the wildlife center to the curb before a new mayor has any say in the matter.
The reality is that pushing them out is going to be a disservice to all of Ogden City and Northern Utah.
Now, in total, there are 7 people running for mayor here in Ogden. I reached out to all of them. I'm waiting to hear back from 2, but I've spoken with 5, and those 5 all said the same thing. The Rehabilitation Center is a key organization to have here in Ogden. Reporting from Ogden, Cade Gardner, ABC4 News.
It's Child Abuse Prevention Month, and today the Salt Lake County District Attorney is sharing what the county is doing to fight that problem. One example, Camp Hope. It's a free summer camp program for children who are impacted by domestic violence and other crimes. It's a week-long getaway focusing on helping kids and teenagers create healthier pathways. We spoke with a Camp Hope counselor who says it's important to teach certain values to children, but he says his main goal is to make sure they have fun as well.
I feel like the main thing as camp counselors that we can do is give them the best time of their lives, give them the best week, and just have them looking forward to coming back next year.
Camp Hope is a 3-year program. District Attorney Sim Gill saying when children make good memories, it can help push back on childhood trauma.
And in a health alert this evening, a new life flight base opens up at the Intermountain Hospital in Cedar City today. Before this, the only life flight base in southern Utah was in St. George. People with Intermountain Life Flight say that they've struggled to accommodate the growing population in southern Utah. But now hospital leaders say this means more lives will be saved. The new base includes a helicopter and a trained medical flight crew who will be ready to jump into action 24/7.